Hey, this is Amanda Elo'esh, and I'm here with this week's Goddess Diary. This is inspiration for having more magic, more sacred in your life without the dogma, without the religion, but all the fun. And I'm feeling lots better. I was in a crazy funk. I don't know if you all were, but according to pretty much everybody I've been tuning in with, this past month or maybe summer has just been a really intense time for a lot of us, dredging up a lot of core wounding and feeling raw and vulnerable. So if you've been feeling that way, you are definitely not alone. And I decided to do a cleanse for the turn of the season and for Navratri, which is a Hindu celebration of the goddess, 9 nights of the goddess. And man, it's made a huge difference in my life. And it's kind of, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I just wanted to share that because I know when we're going through a hard time and we think it's just us, it kind of, I know it's isolating. We don't want to be isolated. We don't want to be on our own, but you're not alone. So what I wanted to talk briefly about today is the next goddess that's coming up in the Living Wisdom School, and that is the initiatress. She's the one who holds the sword of truth and the mirror of reflection, and the mirrors for the self and for others. And the truth is about alignment, the standing tall and straight like the sword and cutting away anything that's not true. And the mirror is about offering reflection that is for the self and for other people as well. And speaking your truth, it's a really difficult thing to do. And I recently was in a circumstance where somebody that I look up to quite a bit, and other people I know definitely look up, said something to me in a public place that was very strange. It was very discombobulating. It pulled me out of my heart and into my head. I felt defensive. I felt like the more I tried to be in my head and figure out what was happening, it felt argumentative, and it was going in a bad place. And because of my cleanse, I'd been feeling a little foggy. I wasn't quite sure what was happening, and I felt kind of like a runaway train had taken off. And so things came to a closure. I was actually in ceremony where I was trying to make a prayer for myself. And I was sitting there. I did make the prayer. It felt odd. It didn't feel like I'd really dropped into my heart. And I sat there, and my mind kept trying to go back and figure out what happened and what I said and what they said and da 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 da. And when my brain is fixating on something that's happened in the past, I know that, well, first of all, I'm not in the present, but I know that there's something out of alignment that needs to be brought into alignment. Sometimes we don't have the opportunity to do that live or with that person, or sometimes we have to do the work, metabolize it on our own, which is really difficult. But if there's an opportunity to bring it into alignment as soon as the wobble happens, it's so great. And so after I had time to sit and drop in, I felt like, well, there was no meanness there at all, only loving intention, but it just didn't work. And I felt like I hadn't really had an opportunity to make my prayer that I wanted to make. And so it was a little scary, but I spoke up and said, I really would like another opportunity to say what I need to say. And I did mention that the previous interaction had been difficult and had pulled me out of my heart and into my head. And then I dropped in and I made my prayer, and everything energetically just settled. My body felt more relaxed. My brain quit going back into this past and what happened and figuring it out and justifying, or I don't know, defensiveness. And I just felt my heart open, my belly opened, my whole body just, and the rest of the ceremony was just so great. And afterwards I had a lot of people come up to me and tell me that they were really grateful that I had asked for another opportunity to speak and to bring things into alignment. And I know that I'm not alone. I'm sure we've all had those circumstances where we have interactions with somebody probably on a daily basis, strangers, people we know well, people we don't know that well, people we really love, where something just doesn't match. It doesn't necessarily mean somebody's done something wrong or bad, but there's just like it lands wrong or it pulls us out of our center or something happens. And we walk away from those things. If we don't speak it, then we, especially over time, it accumulates and we get all these kind of wonky, twisted energies, and our body starts to reflect it, either externally with our posture and our muscles, or our mind gets all distracted in the past and the future, or it can get stuck energetically in the body. And so I want to encourage you to have the courage to speak up. And the best way to do it is to hold the mirror of reflection and to really let it just not be about a blame or you did this to me and that was bad. But, well, I'm feeling there's something strange is going on right now. I'm not feeling totally settled with what just happened. I don't really understand it. This is what's happening with me. And state the facts about how you're feeling. Even if you're making up a story, you can say, this is the story I'm making up in my head. Because we always make up stories. Very seldom are they true. But it's good to share because that other person can know how they impacted us. And it may be a continual pattern that they're creating in their life, and having that reflection in that moment can help them really have that helpful reflection that's not full of blame, shame, but very objective. And it also can give you an opportunity to just work through a wobble. Oh yeah, well, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it to land that way. Or, I am kind of pissed off at you, but it has something to do with something else. I'm sorry it came out the wrong way. Let me tell you what I am upset about. Or however it unfolds. But it gets those weird wobbles that we all feel. You don't have to be psychic. You don't have to be empathic. We're human beings. We can feel those energetic warps. And we create peace in the world when we are dedicated to speaking up when something's wobbly and wonky. And so I want to encourage you this week. I'm going to give you a little challenge this week to really tune in and pay attention to when something doesn't feel right and have the courage to speak up about it. Because I know that for me, it really made a huge difference in, God, when we make a prayer for ourselves, that's a big deal. So it made a big deal for me making a good prayer for my life. And I know that, like I said, the people around me watching it happen, it gave them permission. It took the weird energy out of the room that other people were feeling, and they, it wasn't theirs. They couldn't correct it. I guess they could have. They could have said, hey, that felt weird. But it was really my business to deal with. So I encourage you to do that. And I give you my support, and let me know how it goes. If you're not already on my website, get on over there. It's amandaeloesh.com, or sometimes Amanda Elo'esh is funky, and you can just use Elo'esh.com. And if you like what you see, then please feel free to sign up for my newsletters. They're every week. They're free. You get lots of great goodies, little invitations, things that I don't put anywhere else. You get them delivered to your inbox, and I never use your information for anything other than sending you my good lovin'. So enjoy that, and may the turn of the season treat you gently. And until next week, may the source be with you.